The promise of a second chance is leading to problems for many Wisconsin residents.
Adam Schrager is here for our weekly Call for Action segment. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me, as always, today. So I am sure there are things in all of our lives where we would love to have a second chance. Anyone who's ever come close to winning something big is likely at the top of that list. But now the Wisconsin Lottery is warning consumers around the state that they're not calling around offering players a special second chance drawing. The caller is attempting to get people to give money and personal information in order to qualify for that prize. It is not real. So this is what the lottery is recommending. Be leery of anyone who says you've won a prize to a game you've never entered. Know that legitimate lotteries are never going to ask you to pay any money in order to claim even more money as a prize. You've heard me say this before. Do not ever give out bank accounts, Social Security, or credit card numbers over the phone to someone you don't know. And finally, be suspicious of anyone who suggests if you don't act now, you'll lose out. Chances are it's the exact opposite. That's true.
Chances are.
Yeah.
As the weather gets hotter now, more people are home, and the phone may ring during the day, and there's a specific call that authorities are warning Wisconsin about.
Yeah, it's a new twist on kind of an old scam, what the state's top consumer advocates actually call 2012's public enemy #1. We're talking about the automated or robocalls from cardholder services or card services, which falsely promise consumers low interest rates on their credit cards. Well, the state's Consumer Protection Division says the calls are back, and this time the callers are using technology to make it seem as if they're calling from your own number. So caller ID isn't helping consumers at all. The key here is to remember that the service being offered isn't real. Only your credit card company can lower your interest rate. And if you press any number on the phone to continue the call from that cardhold services, it could lead to even more calls in the future. The best advice, just hang up if you get that call. Speaking of scams, the Adams County Sheriff's Office is warning its residents about a company promising to pave people's driveways only to take their money and then not finish the job. There are some good lessons to take from this wherever you live. Anyone coming to your door to sell you something must be registered with the state of Wisconsin. Ask to see their permit. Ask to see their insurance. Ask to see a business card that has an address and a phone number. Any reputable company will not mind providing these details. On News 3 at 6, we're going to tell you about one company which didn't and the trouble that it's now in with authorities.
Oh, interesting. Okay, now on to the spam report. And we're talking about the alleged relatives of a dead bank customer from a West African nation.
It just gets better every week,
right?
doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, there's no embellishment on that sentence at all. These spam reports continue to be as bizarre as ever. If you have an email you do want to warn your neighbors about, you can send it to me, aschrager@wisctv.com. All right, on to the spam report sent to Scott and Teresa from Barrister John Aka. The barrister writes, I have an important message for you concerning the death of my late client who was a native of your country that bear the same last name with you. His fund, valued at US $7.5 million, was left behind in one of the bank here in my country, Togo, which is a West African nation, by the way, as a result of accident. I await your urgent response. Well, you've heard me talk about Googling names in these emails before, so I did that with Barrister John Aka. What I found was that someone by that name actually claimed to represent a Nigerian bank in a scam a couple of years ago, but more amusingly, I found a website called Scamorama, which had a page called, I kid you not, Dead Bank Customers. Real people have sent them emails like the one I got from Scott and Teresa, and they've listed the alleged dead bank customers, and even more amusingly, the ways that they have died. Earthquakes, car crashes, tube collapses, you name it. Fun stuff. Scamorama.com/bank customer for a good laugh. Yeah, we can help you with any consumer problems you may have in the future. Get in touch with our Call for Action volunteers every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. The hotline 270-2833. They will work on your behalf, or you can file your complaint online anytime, channel3000.com/call for action.
I think we should rename this segment the Scamorama.
I like Scamorama.
I was reading it. I spent way too much time. Don't tell the bosses. I was on that site for like an hour. I'm like, that's great. An earthquake somehow.
The tube collapse. The tube of the London subway.
No, it wasn't even the subway. It was just a tube. It was not the tube. It was a tube had collapsed. That's what I was wondering. Like, what kind of a tube collapses on someone and leaves a bank account?
Well, there you go. Scamorama.
There you go.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.